Morning, everybody. Hi, and a shout out to my crafting buddy Quincy up in Washington. Hi, Quincy. Today we're going to learn how to make a shabby rose flower. So apparently it's been around for a long time. I absolutely love it. It's a simple flower to make, and let me just show you a few examples. This one I made in muslin. Isn't that just gorgeous? Okay, that's muslin. This one is in a stiffer like ribbon that I bought. It has greater definition than the muslin does. This one is the same size cuts, only it's in a very soft lace. It'd be a great shabby rose. Let me show you the difference in size. I don't know if you can see that, but there's about an inch difference in the diameter. So the softer your material, I don't want to say wimpier, but the softer the flower. The stiffer the material, the stiffer the flower. That makes sense, right? So here's one in between. This is some cotton fabric that I've been working with. And you can see how it just lays so pretty. And I have a little rose in the center, paper rose. Here are a couple of smaller ones that I made. These are about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. They're a little bit finer work, so we'll look at those last. And then here's my absolutely favorite one in burlap. And that's the one I'm going to show you today. I love the definition of the petals. You can see where it loops around. It has a deep center, so you can put all kinds of centerpieces in there if you want to. I love the shabbiness of the frayed edges. It's just a gorgeous flower. Now this is what I'm going to show you. So now if you want to pause the video, and what you'll need to do, we're going to make the 4-inch size flower first because it's easier to learn the folds, is get yourself 2.5 by 2.5 inch square material. And as I said, I'm going to be working with burlap. You can use whatever material you want, but for this purpose, the stiffer the material, I mean, except canvas, don't go getting yourself a heavy piece of canvas or leather or something, although you could if you're an advanced crafter. But this is for my beginning folks. Get yourself some 2.5 by 2.5 inch squares, and I don't know, maybe 15, 20, cut those out. Color you want, grab a cup of joe or a cup of tea or a cup of whatever, and come back over and we'll start. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a 2.5 inch circle of felt. Okay, I cut an abundance of purple the other day for a project I was working on, so that's what I'm going to use. Alright, you got your hot glue gun warming up. And basically that's all you need, unless you want to do trimmings, which we can play with at the end if we have time. I keep saying if we have time because I only have a 20-minute card in this camera. Of course I could do a 2 thing, but I've already used 5 minutes, so let's go. Alright, the first thing you want to do is you want to have your square, grab this bottom right corner, and bring it up to the center of the top edge. Alright, just fold it up there with a little bit of overlap. Just like that. So you're going to have kind of a triangle above the edge, and you're going to have a little bit on either side. Okay, so once you do that, then you're going to bring the right corner, and you're going to fold it over to the left corner, like so. And then you're going to bring that bottom corner of what you just folded over and bring it up to the corner. Okay? Can you see that, what I did? Alright. Now you're going to pinch that together so you don't lose it. And now you're going to take this other part on the left and you're going to fold it back. And you're going to line up this edge with this edge. Okay, so you're going to fold it back. And you're going to line up those edges. And now you're going to pinch it, turn it, and you should have a little bit of a point right there. And the rest of your flower petal is facing down. You're going to take your glue gun. Hopefully mine is all the way warmed up. You're going to go in, you're going to turn it, right? You're going to turn it once, go in there and put a little bit of glue. Then you're going to turn it the other way, which is a separate fold. It's not the same fold. And you're going to go along that edge inside. And then you're going to put, if you're using burlap, I would recommend putting quite a bit, not a lot, you know, but oh, there we go. Enough to do it. And then you're going to go from the center of the flower out, push it down. And when you do your glue, you don't have to go very far from the tip out because you don't want to go past your circumference of the circle. Otherwise you'd be gluing it down to your table. Okay, hold that. Now if you're using burlap, it's going to poof up a little bit, and that's what we want. It's awesome. So see, it looks, it looks like that, looking at it from the outside, and then there's your triangular petal on the inside. Okay, let's do another one. So you got it squared up. You're going to grab the right bottom corner and bring it up to the middle of the top edge. And you'll have a little triangle sticking above that edge. And you'll have some on either side. Okay, now if your cut isn't quite squared, that's okay, don't worry about it. Sometimes you're going to have it look like that on this corner. Don't worry about it. It's so cool because every petal is unique, right? Okay, now we're going to take the right side, we're going to fold it over, and then we're going to bring that corner up to the other corner. Got it? Alright, now we're going to take this leftover part here, and we're going to take this edge, and we're going to bend it along that edge behind. So there we go. Then you're going to turn it, and there's your petal. Now you take your glue gun, glue inside, and if you run it along that seam, you don't get a big glopping of glue. Turn it over, punch it down, punch it, press it. Truly, I'm not in an aggressive mood this morning. And now, because this is such a large large petals, I'm probably only going to do a 2, 4, 6 petal flower. Generally I do 8. So I'm going to do 2 more in this side and 2 more on that side. So you can just follow along. I'll do it one more time. Bring that bottom right corner up above the upper edge, and you have a little triangle peeking over that edge. Then you take your right upper corner, bring it over to the left upper corner, and then bring that bottom part and bring it up. Holding that, you're going to take this leftover right part, and you're going to line this bottom edge up with the other bottom edge behind it. Then you're going to twist it, turn it, and there's your petal. You have 2 separate seams, and you're going to put glue in each of those. Now when you're working with finer fabric, you don't need near as much glue as when you work with the coarser fabrics. Okay, and then put it on. Okay, so I think you have enough to get started. Let's go ahead and work together. And you work at your pace, and I'll try and get this one done so that you can see. And once you get the idea behind it and you get comfortable with turning it, you can just wail on these things. Oh, the reason I just turned that over is because to me it seemed like there was a wrong side on this, and I didn't want the wrong side to be on the outside. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this. I think you got the hang of it. If there's something I could have explained a little bit better, please put it in the comments. And also, if you like the way I do things, or you're happy with this channel, please subscribe to it. The more people we get learning to craft and having an alternative for all kinds of negative outlets, the better. That's what I say. Oh, and somebody asked me yesterday where I found my fabrics. So, yeah, some of it, like this burlap, you can get on sale at Joann's for a real good price. So that's where I got the burlap. Excuse me, there's a coffee speaking. And my muslin is so funny. I ran out of muslin yesterday because I did a custom project for a customer, and I ran out of muslin. So I'm like, I had just enough to finish the piece that she wanted. And so I said, I'm going to go to Joann's and restock this now while I have some energy. So I drove over to Joann's, and I thought, I better get my coupons out. And there was a 60% off coupon for all muslin. I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. It was so great. So you can get some real good sales at that store, or your local craft store, I'm sure, has awesome sales too. Just hold that so it gets it. And how do you guys like the camera today? I changed the camera and where it sits and the angle so you can hopefully see my hands better with where I normally work. I noticed on the last one I kept moving my hands away from where I had put the camera. So yeah, this one I think is better. And I'm using a different color background. So hopefully you can see better. See how that's just poofing up there? Isn't that awesome? I hope and I pray that yours is doing the same thing, depending on what you chose. You ought to put something in the comments. Let me know what materials you chose to use, and if you can, send me a picture of how it comes out. I'd love to see it. Well, I have 2 squares left of what I cut, and I think I cut 16 maybe? I didn't count. I should have counted. You know how it is. You start with something and you say, oh, need more, so you just cut more. Well, I'll tell you what, yesterday when I was making that custom piece for this wonderful woman, I was running out of muslin so fast, and I was like, oh my gosh, what can I cannibalize? So I cannibalized another project that wasn't for anybody, just me, and I cannibalized a bunch of strips that I had cut to make some loop flowers with to replenish what's on my Etsy site. And I'll tell you what, I had like 3 or 4 little tiny strips left when I finished that project. So I was very happy to go buy more muslin yesterday. Okay. I think I need a couple more. I've got some pre-cut ones here that are smaller. I'll just use a couple of those. Oh, right. And it might be obvious to me, but maybe not to you, but the smaller the square that you use, the smaller the flower you get. So let me just, you keep working and I'll show you what I'm talking about. These little tiny flowers that I made yesterday. This is the size flower petal that I used, and that is 1.5 inches by an inch. So they're rectangular, right? So it doesn't even have to be a square. And I'll tell you, you have to do some really fine. See how that's all together right there? And you bring that over and down, and you get this teeny tiny little flower petal compared to, let's see if I can do this while I hold the other one. And this is even smaller than what I started with. So, yeah, there's a comparison of those two. And you end up getting a little 1.5 inch flower out of these. So these would be great for, embellishing on cards. These I used a little bit more than what you could have used to get it still full. And if you wanted to put something in the something in the center instead of filling it up, then you can do that. Oh, that's my timer going off saying I'm talking too much. Put this in here. Okay, I'm just going to stop right there. It's got, look at that, it comes out like a pentagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided, which is kind of interesting since I did 6 of the petals. But I mean, you can take large bling. Let me get a large bling and stick in the center. That'd be pretty. Can you see that glistening down in there? Yeah. You can take a large, beautiful mulberry paper rose, and you guys know I love these, and put in there. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. See you next time. Have fun putting all the bling on. Your imagination is the limit. I like to say it's imaginatively infinite, and it is. You can use beaded pearls, you can use ribbon, you can use laces, feathers, sprays, buttons, flowers, pearls. I mean, keep going. You can use anything. Anyway, enjoy working on these. They're fun. They're fast once you get the origami part of folding the material down. And make it a good one. See you next time. Bye.